called Boys in the Boat. Dang good one. I don't even remember how I found this book. But it's about our Olympic rowing team that won the gold medal at the 1936 Olympics. That's what the book's about. It's all the whole story. Man, it's a good story. I want to read you a little section here. Okay? It's just it's almost a page, so kick back a little bit and enjoy. The psychology is complex. Even as rowers must assume their often fierce sense of independence and self-reliance. At the same time, they must hold true to their individuality, their unique capabilities as oarsmen or oarswomen, or for that matter, as human beings. If they could, few rowing coaches would simply clone their biggest, their strongest, their smartest, and most capable rowers. Crew races are not won by clones. They're won by crews. And great crews are carefully balanced blends of both physical abilities and personality types. In physical terms, for instance, one rower's arms might be longer than another's, but the latter might have a stronger back than the former. Neither is necessarily a better or more valuable oarsman than the other. But the long arms and the strong back are both assets to the boat. But if they are to row well together, each of these oarsmen must adjust to the needs and the capabilities of the other. Each must be prepared to compromise something in the way of optimizing his stroke for the overall benefit of the boat. The shorter arm man reaching a little farther, the longer arm man foreshortening his reach just a bit, so that both men's oars remain parallel and both blades enter and exit the water at precisely the exact same moment. Only in this way can the capabilities that come with diversity, lighter, more technical rowers in the bow and stronger, heavier pullers in the middle of the boat, for instance, be turned to advantage rather than disadvantage. And capitalizing on diversity is perhaps even more important when it comes to the characters of the oarsmen. A crew composed entirely of 8 amped up, overly aggressive oarsmen. You guys know any firemen like that? No coaches like that. 8 amped up, there's 8 guys in the boat. A crew composed entirely of 8 amped up, overly aggressive oarsmen will often degenerate into a dysfunctional brawl in a boat or exhaust itself in the first leg of the race. Similarly, a boatload of quiet but strong introverts may never find the common core or fiery resolve that causes the boat to explode past its competitors when all seems lost. Good crews are good blends of personalities. Someone to lead the charge, someone to hold something in reserve, someone to pick a fight, someone to make peace, someone to think things through, someone to charge ahead without thinking. Someone has to do each of these. Somehow, all of this must mesh. That's the steepest challenge. Even after the right mixture is found, each man and woman in the boat must recognize his or her place in the fabric of the crew, accept it, and accept the others as they are. It is an exquisite thing when it all comes together in just the right way. The intense bonding and the sense of exhilaration that results from it is what many oarsmen row for, far more than the trophies or the accolades. But it takes men and women of extraordinary character as well as extraordinary physical abilities to pull it off. And I don't know if there's I know there's probably a lot of good ones out there. I don't know if there's a better description of a firefighting crew or a coaching staff. A group of people that got to work together, all different types, right? None of us are exactly the same. Now, we've got similarities, right? Can you imagine if you had an entire firefighting crew of Big John Stud? Every one of them exactly like that? Or if you had an entire fighting crew of, pick who it is, right? It wouldn't work if everybody's the same. It takes all different types. All different types. When we come together to help each other, when you're willing to give a little bit so that you can take a little bit, then you'll have the opportunity to create a great team. Now, committing makes everyone better, including you. That's what I love about committing. When you commit to something, not only do you make the team better, You become better in the meantime. You do. When you commit to trying to do your best to make the team better, you're going to become better yourself. When you help others improve, you improve. That's what happens. So just think of yourself as an instructor. The more you teach and you're helping those people learn those things that they need to learn, and the more you help them improve, the more you'll improve in those same things. I know you guys all know this because I've experienced this wholeheartedly, and I'm sure you have too as an instructor. You learn that stuff you're teaching way better when you're teaching it than you did when you sat in the class yourself. Way better, because you have to, and you feel responsible for it, and you want to be able to answer their questions and all those things, so you feel way better about it. You improve by helping them improve. When you serve others, you find greatness in yourself, right? It's all about service and sacrifice. Service and sacrifice. The Spartans, you guys know the story of the Spartans, 300. Do you guys know about back in Greece, ancient Greece, the Spartans? So I find this real interesting, extremely interesting. The idea of service and sacrifice. So let me read you this about the Spartans. From 431 to 371 BC, the Spartans were the premier fighting force in Greece, and perhaps the world. Why were they so great? It's because their culture valued the tactics and mindset necessary to fight together as a single-minded unit. So there's this thing called the hoplite phalanx. Okay, it was a term back in or maybe that's the way we've worded their term. But the hoplite phalanx was a battle formation that they used. It was made up of heavily armed soldiers who moved in very tight ranks. If you've seen the movie 300 ever or seen anything on there, you've seen this formation. Soldiers using this strategy relied on strength of the shield of the men to their left and the men to the right. The individual warrior saw it as his mission to keep his shield up and stay alive so that he could stay in the fight. Because staying in the fight meant that he could do his job and enable his team members to do their job. So they're linked, right? The whole thing. I'm protected by the guy next to me, and I'm protecting the guy next to him. And that's the way they fought. And if one guy went down, then all of a sudden that meant his teammate was going to be exposed. What a great example of service and sacrifice, right? Their tactics, their strategy, their whole system of fighting was designed to rely on each other. Because we're together, we're better. We're stronger. Got another book for you. Stick Together. Stick Together is the name of the book. All right? And it is another book by John Gordon. Stick Together. Another great book. And the whole idea is this. He's got these people, this team, and these, if you can imagine, you got this group of firefighters, okay? And each one of you have an individual stick. And the quest is make that stick unbreakable. So I give each one of you a stick, okay? And you figure it out. See if you can make that thing where nobody in the room can break it. All right? And you can't adjust it. You can't make it too short or anything like that. Or we'll get some cutters out. Those big cutters you were talking about yesterday. We'll get some of those if we have. Okay, just a stick, like that. Take about as long as this book, maybe. Not real, make it unbreakable. And so it gives you all kinds of paper and staples and glue and whatever you want. Anything possible, right? You're not going to make it unbreakable. Especially if we let's get away from the cutters and say, just make it to where we can't just break it with our hands. Well, the idea is, if you want to really make it unbreakable, how about if we put all our sticks together and tie them together? And now, all of a sudden, we've got something much more unbreakable. So here's the story from the book. Give me your sticks, he shouted frantically. This is as the player realizes it. Everybody, give me your sticks. The players all tentatively handed over their sticks, wondering what was going on. Hey, give me your shoelaces. Come on, do you trust me? Give me your shoelaces. Martin laid the laces down on the floor and stacked the sticks together in a bundle. He tied the laces tightly around the bundle at each end and then handed the bundle over to David. There you go, now break it. David smiled as he held up the bundle and tried to bend it in two. It didn't budge. He then thrust the bundle down across his knee, trying to snap the twigs in half, but nothing happened except a bruise on his knee. They would not break. They realized in that moment that together They truly were unstoppable. They weren't strong enough on their own, but they would be stronger together when life and the competition tried to break them. Guys, any team can be a group of sticks, but team members need each other to be strong. Only a team who believes, loves, includes everyone, is consistent, takes ownership, connects, and has hope, all bundled together, can come out on top and reach their true potential. That's when the word team actually has meaning. It's a group that sticks together through adversity to pursue a shared vision and purpose and seeks to accomplish something great together. We can't ever be whole until we are bound together. Man, the whole idea is we're better together. So one of the things my dad taught me too, talked a lot about when I was playing for him, was the idea of synergy. And so here's the way he explained synergy to me. First of all, on the board, he wrote 1 + 1 = 3. Of course, we knew that wasn't true. 1 + 1 = 2 has for a long time. And I bet even you got that right before I was born. Yeah, right. 1 + 1 = 3. And the idea is that when we add our group, when we add ourselves together, we add up to more than the sum of our individual parts. That's the way life works, guys. Together, man, when you work together with somebody, I've shown our football team this just simply using deadlift. How much weight can you stand? Pick up, right? And so if I can deadlift 200 pounds and you can deadlift 200 pounds, but if we put 400 pounds on that bar and you and I both get on there, we'll be able to do even more. We'll be able to take that thing up to 500 pounds because now we're working together. That's the idea of synergy. That's the idea of stick together. That's the idea of being a great team and being a great teammate, of rowing the boat, of using your physical traits that you have, your mental traits that you have, as best you can to help the team. And understand that there's other people on your team that are different than you and have different strengths, hopefully, so that together, all of a sudden, you guys have both strengths. You have another person that, the bigger the team, the stronger you can get, right? If you understand this and you're willing to let go of yourself a little bit and commit yourself to helping the whole team get better. Together, we're better.